Hello everyone, my name is Abby Bliss White and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a little foundation comparison. So I did a recent video with all my kind of BB, CCs, and skin tints, and in that video I mentioned these two. This is Biologique Recherche Serum De Teint, and this is the Chanel Le Beige Eau de Teint. These are very similar, and I had a request for me to do a wear test, kind of show you what it is like on one side of my face, as well as comparing the Chanel Water Fresh tint. So what we're gonna do today, you guys, is I'm gonna share the benefits of each of these foundations and let you guys decide which one you prefer and kind of give you all the different insides and outs of these two foundations. So if you're interested in either one of these foundations and you wanna kind of learn a little bit more, then let's go ahead and get started. Okay guys, today we are going to be doing a little comparison between the Biologique Recherche, this is the Serum De Teint, and then Le Beige from Chanel, and this is the Water Fresh tint. So these are two of my favorite foundations, and they are both magical on the skin. So I was asked if I would do a little comparison because I had kind of said that I find them to be very similar. So first, this one is $140. And if you guys watch any of my videos or any of my skincare routines, you will know that I am a huge fan of the Biologique Recherche brand. So when this was recently launched, this was sort of like a no-brainer for me. Like, of course, I was gonna have to try this because I use their skincare line, and I was like, ooh, they're branching out into a little bit of cosmetics. So this was a definite yes for me, but it may not be for everyone. Now, I am a fan of the Le Beige Water Fresh tint. And again, this is going to be lighter coverage. It's going to have sort of a plumping, and I find it to have sort of a magical, sort of angelic look on the skin. So when I first tried this out, I was kind of a little bit miffed with it. I didn't quite understand what the big deal about this was, and now it is like I would definitely repurchase. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put half on this side and then the other half on this side of my face, just to kind of give you a little comparison of the two. They are both sheer coverage. They both claim to have skincare benefits. The Chanel does have fragrance in it, just like Chanel products always do, but this one is not irritating to my skin whatsoever. So without further ado, let's go ahead and do this. So first off, the Serum De Teint, this is in shade number 1, and there's only 5 shades. With the Chanel Water Fresh tint, there's only 6 shades. So again, these are sheer formulations that are going to just kind of blur your skin, give you a little bit of coverage. If you are looking for anything that is going to give you like high coverage or medium, these two are not really what you're going to be looking for. You can build them up, but I've just found that sometimes as you're adding more and more layers to your skin, it just doesn't look that great. So let's go ahead. I am going to apply the Serum De Teint on this side. I'm actually in shade number 1, and that's what I would say the shade range is limited, but this really does work for my kind of light to medium skin tone. Again, it's sheer, so it can be a little bit more forgiving. Now on this, I tend to like to apply with my fingertips, and it just has a really beautiful kind of finish to the skin. So I initially started with fingertips, and then I'm going to take my IT Cosmetics Heavenly Complexion brush, and I'm just gonna buff the rest of this into this side. So it has a very hydrating feel. Okay, this is the Biologique Recherche side. As you can see, it's going to give me a nice little glow. Now, I do want to mention in the Biologique Recherche kind of lineup, this is considered a finishing serum. So with your finishing serum, you would use this before you put on your SPF. Now, as I've mentioned in previous videos, there is no Biologique Recherche police. You get to do what you want with your skincare. I do tend to use this underneath my SPF. I will use it as a finishing serum, and then I will place my SPF on top. Right now, before we did any of this, all I did was my regular skincare, and I had put on my SPF. So I have found that I can wear this as a finishing serum underneath my SPF, and it will still peek through, but I sometimes will take an extra pump and I will put it over kind of as my foundation. Now, I find this one to be very firming to the skin, not drying. There's a difference between feeling that kind of firm tightness. I feel like it gives my skin a little bit of a lift, and I do feel like it gives me a little bit of a healthy glow. Now, this guy, I have it in the shade medium light. Love this. And you are gonna see it comes out quite liquidy. And I'm gonna be using a little Chanel brush here to dab that on. And once you start dabbing this on the skin, it breaks up the little pigments in the base. And that's where I think the magic happens. So I am going to buff this guy into the skin. And then as it dries down, you guys, you will see it's gonna have like a little bit of refinement to the skin. I find that it plumps it up. And when I was doing my BBCC Skin Tint kind of video that I was sharing my collection with you and my thoughts, I had mentioned that these two kind of remind me of each other as far as the kind of look and feel on the skin. I am going to use just about a half pump more here. Didn't feel like I got my forehead as much as I wanted. So we'll come in there. Okay, for sake of time, I did put on my eyeballs. I think I'll do just a teeny bit of concealer, which I'm using my new favorite, and this is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. And I'm just gonna put a little bit here. I'm gonna use my ring fingers. We're just gonna lightly kind of lighten up that area. And I'm gently gonna pull it out to the sides. Now, with myself, you guys, with both of these, I don't feel like I have to powder down with either of these foundations. So that's one thing I would say, is that to me, they're kind of magical. It does something kind of pretty on your skin, and it does not, these are gonna wear exactly the way that they're wearing on my skin right now. So for my particular skin type, these are the type that I don't really feel like I need to wear powder with. I just sort of like that healthy kind of glow look. And these are exactly what these guys are. These are glow little makers on your skin. So I'm gonna bring you up close, not wanting to scare you this morning, but we will come in, and then on this side, we have the Serum De Teint. So you'll see, you guys, you can see my skin peeking through here, halfway here. And then even already, you guys, you're gonna see on this side, so we've got Biologique Recherche, and then on this side over here, we are going to see the La Beige Water Fresh Tint, or Eau de Teint. And again, you see how it really gives you a pretty little glow. You can definitely, of course, kind of add a little concealer or even a little bit more of this to build up more coverage. But what I find when I look back from this side is I find that this kind of gives me a blurred out, more refined look, but I still have a healthy glow. And then again on this one, you guys, I've got that healthy kind of skin glow look going on, but just a little bit slightly different than this guy. So let's see what you guys think, if you can see, but very similar. And this also could be due to tone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a swatch of each of these so we can kind of see if one side's looking dramatically different. It could be the different shades. Excuse me. Okay guys, here is the Serum De Teint, and it is going to be a little bit creamier in nature, whereas the Water Fresh Tint, I'm hoping you guys can see, but there's like even little water droplets, and then as you spread it onto the skin, you're going to get the coverage. So actually I like the tone. This is in medium light, and then this is number 1, you guys, but it does work for my skin. I feel like it gives me just a little bit of life, but you can see they're definitely a little bit different. So when you are comparing these two, just make note, you know, this one, it just is going to, this Water Fresh Tint, as it dries down, really has kind of a nice refined look. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see it in the camera, but on this side, what I find with the Chanel is that it plumps up my skin, but it gives it kind of this more refined look. And then on this side, you guys, I really do get that kind of healthy kind of glow maker on this side. So for the purposes of this little review, I will powder just a little bit down the T-zone because we're gonna apply the rest of my makeup. And then whatever's left on the brush, I will just kind of put it around the face, but I don't want to blur out a lot of the glow. So I'm gonna use the Hourglass Veil, and realizing you don't need to be super close. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna use a very little amount. Again, I just want you to be able to see, but most of the time we're gonna set our makeup. So just a teeny bit on my brush, and we're just gonna first kind of come down the T-zone. We'll set the makeup just a teeny bit, you guys. I'm just gonna kind of take whatever's left on the brush, and this is very light powder. Let's put a little bit of the rest of my makeup on, and I'm gonna use the Westman Atelier. This is their Beauty Butter Bronzer in Coupe de Soleil, and someone had wanted me to kind of use this on camera for them, so we're kind of doing a few requests, but it is such a pretty bronzer. I always forget about this one, and we need to pull that out. And warmed up the skin, and then I'm going to be using the Westman Atelier. This is their Peau de Rose, and I like to use this as blush. So again, just a beautiful little bit of pink, spring pink here, and it's just such a pretty color. Now it does have a little bit of sparkle. I kind of think of this as sort of like Orgasm. You know how that has a teeny bit of sparkle and nothing terrible. I find it to be really pretty on the skin, but I do always like to mention, if you are someone who does not like that kind of sparkle, You may not like this guy. On my eyes, you guys, I use the new La Beige. That is the warm palette. So that's just one I've been wearing non-stop. Easy to use and kind of a good day to day. For lips, I'm going to be using Chanel, and we are using the Long Wear lip pencil, and this is in Rose Natural. And that's that color. So Rose Natural, you guys, is more of a nudie kind of rose versus kind of pink. So just know that. I really do like that, but it's more on the neutral side versus pink. And then I'm gonna use my personal favorite gloss from Chanel, and that's in Bourjois 119. Just an easy lip. Just a super easy lip. Love these lip glosses as well. During this time, I've been wearing just a lot of like lip liner and lip glosses, just because it's easy and I like a little bit of oomph on the lip. So, okay, back to the subject at hand. Okay, back to the subject at hand. We have half our face and half. This is the Biologique Recherche side, and this is the Chanel Water Fresh Tint. Okay, let me give you a little bit more information. So with the Serum De Teint, this really is a skincare product, basically with a little tint of color in it. So what it is promising is that it is going to be a performance product, that it's going to be hydrating to the skin. It's supposed to help with anti-pollution and fighting free radicals in the air. So loaded with antioxidants. This also is supposed to be very like breathable to the skin. So a lot of times when we do all our good skincare, but then we put makeup on top of it. This is supposed to be breathable. It's supposed to be helping with anybody who's suffering from blemishes that could be making it worse versus better. There is 5 different colors. I strongly recommend that you reach out to like Rescue Spa or wherever you're going to be purchasing this, to kind of have them give you swatches of the color range, because I bought this blind. I ended up buying shade number 1, which has worked for me, but I was in between 1 or 2. I even thought I could go with 3. The truth of the matter is they're pretty darn sheer that I probably could have gone with any of those, but the undertone of 1, as you can see, it's slightly oxidizing over here, and there isn't that much. It's a little bit more on, this one has a little bit more pink, where I'm finding that this is pulling a little bit more peachy between the 2 of them. So the top is the Serum De Teint shade number 1, but again, very forgiving on the skin. And this is saying that it's going to give you sort of a radiant kind of glow, which I do find is the truth. So I really love this, but as I've mentioned, do you want to spend $140 for the Serum De Teint? You may, if you are someone who is into the skincare line. This to me is part of my skincare routine. So I find this to be very kind of helpful, and it just fit in with all the other products that I'm currently using. So I really enjoy this guy. But that being said, I love my La Beige Water Fresh Tint. And again, this was one I bought. I think I even returned it. I didn't quite have the right color. And then I was like, you know what? I want to try it again. It felt like it has a little bit of a learning curve, because it comes out and you really need to work those pigments into your skin. But every time I wear this guy, I will get a compliment on my skin. That's why I say if there's something magical about this, and I find that it's just slightly more of a refined sort of smoothing foundation, and it also has a little bit of plumping to it. So I love this. It's $65, comes in 7 different shades. It has a little brush that you get with this, but yes, I would definitely repurchase this. I love wearing it year round. I also love it particularly in the summer because it does have sort of a really cooling effect to the skin. Now, neither one of these has SPF in it. Personally, I love that. I use SPF as part of my skincare routine, and my skin is fussy with SPF, so I do better with foundations without SPF. So that's something just personal to me, but that's what I prefer. And these two do not, neither one of them contain SPF. So as we're coming into the summer, I do like to obviously put on my SPF 50. If you're new to my channel, my favorite one is Glow Skin Beauty. I do have a code. If you buy from Frisco Beauty, buy from Christine, use Abby20 and you will get 20% off of that SPF. So I will put that on before, that's the last step of my skincare. And then I will also, during the summer months, I will top off with a little bit of an SPF powder, sort of like the Color Science. I will bring that brush with my, bring that kind of mineral SPF that comes in that little brush that you can keep in your purse. I love that. So just a little extra layer of SPF. $65 comes with a brush. This is going to have microfluidic technology that is in a gel texture. So you guys, it is just so refreshing on the skin. Again, there's little micro pigments in here that need to be broken up as you are putting this on your skin. It says it's going to give you 8 hours of hydration and comfort. Your skin will feel refreshed and it will feel energized. So I have to say the claims on this are absolutely true. I definitely feel like I get at least 8 hours or more with either one of these foundations. They do not break down. They do not kind of break up during the day. Again, they are sheer and light. And so what I find is that they just kind of meld into the skin. As far as putting makeup and such on top of either one, both of them, again, they play about the same. There's not like, no, I put on both a little bit of powder products as well as cream today to kind of let you see, plays well nicely on both of those foundations. So when it really gets down to it, you guys, between the two, I would let you pick which side you like better. And this is the Biologique Recherche. And then we've got the Chanel Le Beige Water Fresh Tint on this side. And the only con I have with this is that this has a touch of fragrance. So those are my final thoughts. I hope this was helpful. This was a request to do these two. I hope you are having a good day. I hope you're staying healthy. I hope you're staying sane. And I will be back with another video soon.